today I decided to make a Cambodian soup dish. It's very hearty and it has a tint of sour in it, and it's very comforting to eat. And here are the ingredients. Usually I use a whole chicken but raw, but this time I'm going to use a rotisserie chicken. It works out just as nice, and it's a bit of a shortcut for me as well. The soup base consists of a tamarind soup base mix, as well as a little bit of sugar, chicken broth mix, Knorr's that is, Himalayan salt, some pepper, and this fish sauce right here. Also, I have about less than 3/4 of rice in here. Just a handful of it would be great, and just wash it off. And I usually use Roma tomatoes, but in this case I only have one, so I'm going to use cherry tomatoes as well. And this is a piece of daikon right here, some onions, garlic, some ginger, also lemongrass. I usually use the lime leaves, but we don't have any lime leaves, so I'm just going to go with the bay leaves this time. I got 6 leaves right here, and some Thai chili. And then for the garnishes, we have some lime, some green onions, and cilantro. Okay, so first things first, we're going to put some ingredients into the soup mix. So I'm going to start with this, with the back of the knife. I'm just going to pound it a little bit, the lemongrass right here. And then it just opens up a little bit, just for the flavor to come out a bit more. And I'm going to just pound off maybe about 4 or 5 pieces of garlic, cloves garlic. Just put your knife down there and just squeeze it down a little bit. Okay. So you just want to bruise it a little bit. For the garlic, I got some ginger right here. This is kind of the size of my double the size of my finger. Probably gonna use half of it. So I'm just gonna. You can leave the skin on if you wish, but I'm just gonna take some off because this one's pretty old. Take off any spoiled parts. And then I'm going to wash it off. So I just washed it off. So I'm just going to slice it into big chunks. Some people don't actually eat the ginger. It's more for the flavor. But you can obviously still eat it. So they're visible pieces right here. Alright, so we're going to put all these in to the pot right now. So I have a pot going right here. It's on a semi-boil. I'm just going to put in these ingredients. Oh, one thing I forgot to put in right away is the rice, so I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. Next thing you do is we're going to, I'm going to start with these vegetables. The daikon is like a carrot, but it takes a little bit longer to cook, so going to be the first thing that I put in, other than the other things I already put in. Okay, daikon is now washed off. Just cutting off the ends. And I'm just going to slice it like this. Chop it like this. I want it like bite-sized pieces. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put that into the soup. I'm going to wash the tomatoes first. Okay, next thing we do is I'm going to chop the onion. So I always take off the first or second layer. And for this dish, I'm just going to cut the sides like this. And then in half. Again, 3 times on the side. Or twice. And in half. And set that aside. I'm going to put it at the same time as the tomatoes because they don't take too long to cook. The only tomato I'm going to cut is this Roma tomato. Because the cherry tomatoes, you can put it in whole. Oops, there we go. Now I'm going to start shredding the chicken with my hands. So what I like about these chicken is it gives it such a nice flavoring. So the pieces that I'm not gonna put in are these right here, the wings and the drumstick. And we're not gonna use too much of the skin either. Okay. So the good parts are like these bony parts right here with the meat. It gives the soup a ton of flavor. And when you shred it, don't shred it too small because they will break down some more. Save the wings. I just love how it falls off the bone. Really easy to work with. I'll just put like this whole entire part right here. This is really flavorful, that part. Rip it in half. Part is really good for the soup as well. So when you get to the meat, don't separate it too small. That's what I was saying. If you don't already know, you can find these anywhere. Almost every supermarket. We like to buy it from Costco or Superstore. This one, however, is from Save-On. So usually I would have to cook the raw meat first and wait for it to cook before I add certain ingredients in, so that they get cooked all at the same time, or they're supposed to be done at the same time. But in this case, I just have to put in the meat. It's already cooked. So that's what I'm going to do right now. In goes the meat. Soup is on medium high right now. I'm gonna turn it up a little bit. Tamarind soup mix. Sometimes I like to use the actual tamarind, but might as well use these up. We have so much of them. Probably put in like a teaspoon and then taste test it a little bit later. You don't need too much salt because we use the fish sauce as well, and that's really salty. That's really salty as it is. Brown sugar, pepper, Okay, so that's all for the soup base. See what I mean? The chicken is already starting to break down. So it'll be like really tiny shreds. So we want to keep them as thick as possible. It's more enjoyable that way. The bay leaves, we don't actually eat them. You could eat them, but it's a more of an acquired taste, but it does give it a nice flavor. Maybe in about 5 minutes I'm going to add in the tomatoes and the onions. In the meantime, I'm going to wash all my garnishes. Alright, so it has been boiling or semi-boiled for about 5 to 10 minutes now, and everything is almost cooked through, like the daikon has softened up. So we're going to add in the last ingredients, or the tomatoes and the onions, and let it cook for another, I'd say 3 to 5 minutes, and then I'm going to give it a taste test. I just love the coloring of this. Alright, so it's been sitting here for over 5 minutes now actually. I'm just going to give it a taste test. Yep, that's good. Alright, so I already washed these garnishes, starting with the green onions. I'm just going to chop it up. Cut it in a slant. A few big pieces here I'm going to put in the soup. So I always have some containers ready here to save them in, or refrigerate it in. Cilantro. So you just roll it up. Just cut it so a little bit coarsely. I'm going to show you a trick that I do. I'll take a paper towel. This is half of a paper towel, and then half of that half, and then I would put it in here, and this helps to make the garnishes to last longer because it absorbs the water. And then some lime. Oh, this one's pretty old, so it's a little bit bruised. Side here, and I'll just place it on the side. Toss into a Ziploc later. And there we have the garnishes. Here it is, my Cambodian sour soup. So I'm just gonna put the garnishes on. Start with the green onions, some cilantro, some lime, piece of Thai chili, stir it in a little bit, and just serve it on rice. I like to eat it this way because I can actually sip on the soup this way. Nice and comforting. Taste the sourness. Yummy. Try it out sometime.